At 1 in the morning in Bakersfield, California, a driver named Ruben Ortega opened his back door to shake out the floor mats and found a supermarket tote bag holding $14,000 in cash. Nobody saw him find it. No camera, no witness, no one awake on that street. He could have zipped the bag shut and driven home, and not one person on this earth would ever have known. Ruben is 58. He drives nights because nights pay better and he sleeps badly anyway. He has been doing it for 6 years, and he has never once been in a story like this. The woman who left the bag was Delia Marchetti. She had ridden 9 minutes across town that evening, got out at a corner, and had no idea yet that the bag was still on the seat behind her. By 9 o'clock that same morning, that money had to be on a counter 280 miles north in Sacramento. Ruben looked at the clock on the dashboard. Then he started driving. He drove all night to give back money he could have kept. What he did not know is that giving it back would not be enough. And the second thing he did in the last 5 minutes is the part nobody was supposed to see.
Here is the first thing that got in his way, and most people don't know it exists. A driver cannot simply phone you. The apps hide both numbers. He can have your bag on his seat and still not be able to reach you until you report it missing first.
At 11 minutes past 2, Delia reported it. 30 seconds later, his phone rang through the app.
Is this the driver from the ride to Chester Avenue?
It's on the seat next to me. 14,000, if I counted it right.
You counted it.
I wanted to know what I was carrying.
How much do you want? Just tell me the number.
Nothing. Tell me where it has to be.
Sacramento. 9 o'clock.
This morning.
This morning. Cash on a counter at 9. That's the whole thing.
Then I should go now.
No, wait. You can't drive to Sacramento. It's the middle of the night.
I'm already on the 99.
Highway 99 runs the whole length of California's Central Valley, straight up the middle of the farmland. Bakersfield to Sacramento is about 280 miles. In daylight, it takes 4.5 hours. It was not daylight.
And in January, that valley makes its own weather. Tule fog, they call it, named after the marsh reeds. It settles onto the flat ground overnight and sits there, thick enough that the white line is the only thing you can be certain of.
You don't have to stay on the phone with me.
I'd rather. Keeps me awake.
It's my father's oven.
Say that again.
Lot 41, a bakery deck oven. They're selling the whole shop at 9. Her father's bakery sat on Del Paso Boulevard in Sacramento for 31 years. It closed 3 winters ago when his hands went stiff and stopped agreeing with him. Everything in it went into storage, and storage costs money, and eventually storage sells.
He built it into the wall himself. 1984.
And he doesn't know you're going.
If I fail, he never has to know I tried.
The money had taken her 9 months, and when she finally drew it out in one piece, the teller had her sign a form. Because here, by law, any cash transaction over $10,000 is reported to the government. Every time. It isn't an accusation. It's just a rule.
She made me sign a paper, like I'd done something.
It isn't about you. It's just the rule.
I keep mine in the glove box anyway, in an envelope.
You keep your money in a glove box.
The bank charges me to hold it, so I hold it.
How much is in there?
Enough to matter, not enough to fix anything.
Somewhere past Larry, the call dropped out. He did not get her back for an hour. He drove into a white nothing at 55 miles an hour with a stranger's savings strapped into the seat beside him. At 10 past 4, he stopped for fuel in Turlock. And this is the part that matters, because it is the part people always leave out. He sat there with the engine off in the light of the forecourt, and he thought seriously about turning around.
Still awake?
I haven't sat down since you called.
I want to tell you one thing, and then we'll leave it alone.
Okay.
I stopped for fuel an hour ago. and I thought about turning around and going home.
Why are you telling me that?
Because people think it's easy for the ones who do it.
It isn't easy. You just don't turn around.
He came into Sacramento at 7:10, with the fog burning off the river and the sky going the color of weak tea. He found her outside a warehouse with a roll-up door, standing in the cold in a mustard yellow raincoat.
You're actually here.
Ruben,
Delia.
count it. Here, in front of me.
I'm not going to count it.
Count it. So there's never a question later.
So she counted $14,000 on the bonnet of a stranger's car in a warehouse yard at 7:30 in the morning. It was all there. Of course it was all there. At 9:20, they went inside, and the clerk at the desk explained the number that ends most first-time bidders before the bidding even starts.
At auction, the price the hammer falls on is not the price you pay. Sitting on top of it is the buyer's premium. The auction house's own cut, usually somewhere between 10 and 18% on equipment like this. It is not optional and it is not negotiable.
14,000 is the reserve. I called twice to check.
13%, the clerk said. $1,820. On top.
I don't have that.
How short are you?
1,820.
9 months. And I'm short by the fee.
Ruben didn't say anything. He turned and walked back out through the roll-up door into the yard. And Delia thought, reasonably, that this was the end of it. The man had already done more than anyone on earth could have asked, and now he was going home to sleep. He came back with the envelope from his glove box.
No, absolutely not.
There's 1,900 in there. Take 1,820.
You've been driving since 1 in the morning.
You can pay me back whenever. I'm not worried about it.
You don't even know me.
I drove all night with you. I know you fine.
My father had a card taped inside the till drawer. 30 years that card was in there.
What did it say?
Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest.
Mark Twain wrote that sentence on a card in February of 1901. A group of young people in Brooklyn had asked him to come and speak to them. He couldn't go. He sent them the sentence instead.
I always thought that line was about the first half.
It isn't.
And here is where this stops being about a driver and a bakery oven and starts being about you. Because the first right thing is the one people can see. It's the second one, the one after you've already done enough. That decides who you actually are.
Lot 41 went to a woman in a mustard yellow raincoat for $14,000, plus 13%.
That's his. That's actually his.
The hand-painted shop sign, Lot 42, went for $60 because nobody else in that room wanted a family name they'd never heard of.
Come and see it when it's lit.
I will.
I mean it. The first loaf out of it is yours.
This happens more often than the news bothers to report. In 2013, a Las Vegas cab driver named Gerardo Gamboa found $300,000 left in his back seat by a poker player and handed it straight in. It only made the papers because the number was big enough to print.
Ruben's number wasn't. 14,000 handed back, and then 1,820 of his own, which nobody asked him for, and nobody was there to watch him give. You have probably done the first half of something good this week. Started it, found out it wasn't quite enough, and quietly let it go. That second push, not the starting, is the whole thing.
So pick the one you left at 80%. The message half sent. The apology half made. The call you meant to finish.
Finish it tonight. Nobody will be there to watch you do it. That is exactly what makes it count. 1 in the morning, an empty back seat, and a man who simply didn't turn around.